Hello everybody, good morning. Today is Thursday, 25th of March, I believe. Yep, no, 25th of May, I apologize. 0509 hours. And I'm making this video in response to someone ignoring my call in regarding to something that's important, having to do with my health. And initially, this doesn't seem as big as of a deal, probably to that person, because obviously I learned that person is just no comment. I'm not about to sit here and bash on people. We're all the same, but just some of us make choices that are not as good as the rest of us. So now, getting quick to the topic, I had a friend, a real good friend named, I'm not gonna say his full name, but his name is Robert T. He lives right here in Hollywood. Beautiful guy, has a beautiful wife, beautiful daughter, you know, a lot of nice toys. He works hard, very hard worker. And he always, every once in a while, I used to work for him, but every once in a while, I need a little bit extra money on the side. You know, I was broke, because when I worked, you know, I barely worked. I worked maybe like, if I worked with this gentleman, maybe like 3 hours, you know, and back then, that would transpire to about $30 an hour. This was before the minimum was up to 11, which was going to be up to 12, which is a joke in itself. But nonetheless, this guy taught me something very important. So I have a paper right here. It's blank. All I wrote on the top is the date, the time, and things like that, so I can keep track of, because before I did this, I just had to erase a whole bunch of videos because they started piling up, and I erased everything on my phone because it's only 256 gigabytes. Anyway, so the person to whom right now I am hanging on by a thread, I may or may not be able to see my doctor. First off, let's start by mention this person. This person's name is Charles. And then, so that we don't, you know, I like to keep anonymity, we'll just say Charles M. Okay? So this person, Charles M., who was born exactly one day, well, his birthday fell one day before my grandmother, who just recently passed away 2 years ago in April, bless her soul. She would have turned 100 if she would have lived the rest of the April, and then May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. She had about 9 months to go and a day, and she would have made it to be 100, but she didn't. That's life. Life can take you at any time. Anyways, but let's just assume that the guy worked with Robert T. You know, he's smart with his money. You know, he budgets. He's not like me, because he has a formal job. In spite of the fact that he's a private contractor, it's still, you know, formal enough. But me, you know, I'm more like a consultant, which is almost like a private contractor. But if they need me for like an hour, I only get paid for an hour. Or if they need me for 3 hours, that's 3 hours, you know. So it's nowhere near as being a private contractor for like the actual company, not for somebody who's already a private contractor. But nonetheless, this gentleman, due to the fact that he has a lot of toys, well, some of them wouldn't be considered toys because they're necessities, like a home, a roof over your head. Since we live in a car-centric society, cars, you know, because you don't really need them for toys anymore. You need them because of where we live. He had this thing where if somebody came up to him and asked him to borrow money, he would make the gap $20. So let's say 20. You got one, I'm not gonna put the thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, $20. Okay? So he had this thing of somebody that, you know, like myself, a worker, who he may have had said that I was over his friend, even though at times he portrayed sometimes some type of behavior that was a little bit questionable at best. It affected the way other potential clientele that I worked for looked at me, and it's just pretty much everything after that went downhill for me. In a door that had been open, I had to look for another door to open after that. I don't think this was the incident, but it might have been something else, because these $20 that I borrowed from him, which is this right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, I paid him back. Now, this is what I borrowed. What I borrowed. Now, me, I'm a little different with money because I'm not good at budgeting. The most I've saved in my life was $5,000, which is petty cash. And unless you count assets that I sold, which were depreciating assets anyway, so it was a car and a motorcycle, but I used that money to go to Colombia. Anyway, so this guy Charles M., I lent him $70. So if we were to do it right down here, money lent to Charles M. This one I'm gonna do in tens. So it starts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Moving on. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. While I'm counting, let me just say one thing. I tried to apply for the marketplace, obviously, because I work gig jobs, so if something's available, I'm able to work. A lot of times, it's not a lot of money, 24, and because of that, sometimes I have problems when I gotta go see my doctor every month. Remember all those shorts I made where I take medication in the morning? Those are 2 of the medications prescribed by my doctor. And then I have another couple medications that I get prescribed by the doctor. So all in all, it's give or take about $500 my monthly visit. And you gotta keep in mind, this is money that I gotta pull out of my arse, because I don't, if I make $200 a week, that'll be good. I'll be able to make it. But if I only make $100 a week, I'll be like $100 short. If I'm making like $50 a week, I'll be a couple $100 short. And then, thank goodness, my saint of parents, they've been helping me up to this point. But now they are losing their patience, and they don't want to help me today, which today I have to go to the doctor. So I tried to get a hold of this person, Charles, and they just hung up on me. Total disregard, saying, why am I calling at this time? Well, yeah, there's a reason why I'm calling at this time. It's because it's 1, early in the morning. Maybe it'll give you some time to gather your thoughts and then do what you gotta do to get the money that you owe me back. That way I can have it by the time I need it, which is approximately around like a little past noon. And now we're still counting. We're at 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Now, as you can see, I reached 40. This is already double the amount of what the initial person whom I learned this from let me borrow. Of course, he's my elder and he's smarter than me. I wish I would have picked up a couple things from him before I went and I lent money to this motherfucker right here. Money lent to this motherfucker right there. You probably can't catch it because it's an iPhone 13 mini, but that's the name of the fucker. Alright, let's continue. And also keep this in mind, because of hyperinflation, I had buddies of mine who were doing real well. Now all of a sudden they can't even spare me $3 because of how tough things have been. We're talking about people that, if I really need it, you know, they spotted me 100, maybe a couple hundred. Now they can't even do 300 pennies. Almost done here. I'm up to 60. Alright, so here we have the amount of money that was lent to this piece of shit, and we did it by tens so that it wouldn't take up as much space. This one we did it by 5 because this guy was smart. He only lent me 20 bucks, and his philosophy was this: the person whom he lent $20 to, if they didn't pay him back, he'd never have to lend them money again. Which is pretty good, right? That's a good philosophy. You lend somebody 20 bucks, they don't pay you, so then after that, you never have to lend them money again, you know? But this person I consider close. I only have, I may have used to have a handful of friends, but now it's probably dwindled down to maybe like 3, give or take. And then this person here, instead of lending 20, as I ought to, I lent him 70. So 10. Oh, let's put a dollar sign on the last number so we know what we're talking about. Wait. Well, let's just cross it out. So this person here, who I called a little while ago, is approximately like 05, 15 hours, you know, and then all he had to say is, why are you calling me at this time? What difference does it make? What are you doing? You're spending your money on crack? That shit keeps you awake all night anyways. So what do you care? So now, this money right here could have gone towards, you know, my doctor's visit and filling my prescription. Right now I'm in the process of applying for Medicaid. I already applied for SSI, SSDI, got denied. So they said the next step is to apply for Medicaid, which I am in the process of doing so that hopefully I do not have to endure this bill every month. I have a 10-year-old daughter, and kids are not cheap, okay? Every time she wants to get something to eat, we're talking $10. You know, we're not back in 2018 with $5 could buy you a meal. We're in 2023. Within the span of 5 years, prices have doubled. Wages, they stagnated. They used to be $8, now they're $11. You do the math. If everything doubled, that means something that was $20 is now $40. If your wage was $8, now it's 11, soon to be 12. Is 8 times 2 16? No. 8 times what is 11? It doesn't make any sense. So now this person owes me this much money, and quite possibly because of them, I'm not going to be able to receive the health care that I need, which I have been doing very well. Just because I made those shorts for 1 week does not mean that after that I accidentally forgot, or I didn't take my medicines at all at one time, at all ever. I kept taking my medication. My depression, the symptoms, they've been gone for a while now. I'm able to sleep at night, you know, because I get 2 medications. One actually helps to sleep. The other one has secondary effects, helps with tremors, helps with anxiety. I have my quick-acting anxiety medication, which is good, mostly for panic attacks. And then I have my other medication, which is medication-assisted treatment medication. And that's because I am a recovering addict. And since I've been doing that medication back in, it was probably before that, but I started counting on the 13th of July of 5 years ago. So this July will be 5 years. Now this person right here, I would like to call him a piece of, but that's not going to get anywhere. And also he probably doesn't give a about what I'm saying right now. I used to have a heart of gold. I used to think, well, this person lost his pops in I think in the year 2000 or 99, I forget. Lost his mom in the year 2021, and you know, he's pretty much left to fend for himself. His might as well say right now, but his better partner also suffers from bipolar, and I've talked to some professionals. I did not mention any names because they can't, you know, professionals can't diagnose people unless they see them. But I told them, like, hey, what if somebody has something like this and it makes them act this way? They said, oh, that kind of sounds like dissociative personality disorder, something like that. So, you know, thinking back about this, maybe these $70 weren't really anything at all due to the fact of the stuff that this guy has to deal with, if he's even with his better half. I hope they are, because they have a child together, and to me, children should be number one. And that's what family is. Father and mother, I love you. Anyways, I'm making this video because I feel frustrated. Right now, I'm in a predicament. Let's just say right now it's 0600 hours, which I doubt. I doubt this video took an hour long. I have approximately about 8 hours to find out what I'm gonna do about this situation in my hands. I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I can't go around asking for money because times are rough. People can't lend money, and this guy, you know, he had the cojones to just tell me to go F myself. So, but my buddy Robert was smart. He learned off of $20. I had to have learned off of $70, which $70 to him was probably nothing. He probably spends that, like, let's say he was go to a table, he'd probably put down $100 and it would be nothing to him. But $20 was enough for him to cut people off that didn't pay him back. For me, $70, you know, that's almost like to probably like 20% of the price of my medication, give or take. And I was in the hopes that I would be able to get it for cheaper today, which I'm not going to be able to, because I called and it would be a long process. So yeah, that's the end of this video. I just want to make this, to put it out there, to let everybody know, if anybody ever asks you to borrow money, don't let them more than 10, maybe 20 bucks. Okay? I don't care how well off you are. And if you don't have it to begin with, just don't do it at all. But if you're well off, cap it. Keep it at 20. Once that person never pays you back, you never have to lend them any money again. There you go. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope that you find gratitude in the small things in life today. Also, I ask kindly everybody to please be kind to one another, and also may peace and love be with every one of you. Thanks for watching.